Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Scratch Chat, where we interview local creatives about their processes and inspirations. Today I'm sitting down with Jakeb Smith. Jakeb has been one of the editors for Scratch That magazine, and he currently is the co-president of the literary salon this year. Thanks for joining me today, Jakeb. How are you going?
Good, thanks for having me, Tom.
That's right. Let's kick off with a little author's bio about what kind of author you are.
So, I'm originally from Darwin, Northern Territory, and that plays a big influence on some of my writing. I like writing about rural scenes, especially queer crime. I find I write a lot of Australian crime, and I noticed that there's a lot of women writing straight hetero male perspectives. So I kind of wanted to kind of flip the script a little bit and write something from a queer perspective. So I just feel like that's underrepresented in Australian crime.
Yeah, cool.
Also do a lot of poetry as well, which my year 12 self would have been horrified to say, but I don't know, I just kind of just started, I got a good feedback and it just kept going.
Yeah, I guess uni's the right place to be experimenting with your formats and voice and everything. A little bit about your involvement with Scratch That magazine. I know this past semester you were the editor for issue 4, but what did you do before that last year?
So it was actually really daunting joining Scratch That because they had run for a whole semester. They had kind of had like all the gears churning and I just had to slot in. I kind of just did what I could. I would say for the first issue, I was just like, where are you going to take me? I'll do whatever. And then, I just was thinking about it and I went from, 10% involved to 60% involved. I was like, I want to go the whole 100, and I put my hand up to be co-editor for issue 4. And I would say it was a great experience.
What have been one of your favourite things about working on Scratch That?
Definitely reading everyone's pieces. That's the big reason why I wanted to be editor, because I wanted to kind of see the talent QUT had, and I kind of wanted to read what people had outside of creative writing. The great thing about Scratch That issue 4 is we had submissions from the business, law, medical science faculties, as well as creative writing. So I'm glad that those other faculties feel encouraged enough to submit to Scratch That. I wouldn't want it just to be a creative writing magazine for creative writing students.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, sounds like there's a lot of diversity, especially when you've been cooped up in a creative writing degree working with creative writing students. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But yeah, it would be fun to be able to read stuff from other disciplines and disciplines beyond creative industries as well. So I wanted to talk a little bit more about your involvement with Scratch That and also with the literary salon. You're the co-president now, but you've also spoken for them a few times. I just wanted to ask you some advice on striking a healthy balance with having your fingers stuck in so many pies, so to speak.
It is a very hard challenge. I'm still working out how to do it now. I guess it's just, for me, how I prioritize is I try and strike a balance and have everything in equal division. But then when something urgent or pressing comes up for something, it's okay to take on more for there and leave the others and then come back to it. But my thing is you have to have time management. Writing out a weekly diary at the start of the week really helps. That's what I do. Or even just making a goals list. Even if you don't tick everything off, it is rewarding to just see what you've ticked off, and that way when you go to the next week you see what you didn't carry over and it doesn't get lost in the shuffle. So you're just trying to be organised. I know it's hard. I'm still struggling to do it myself. When you love it and you're getting a lot out of it, it's all worth it in the end.
It's especially hard with uni, trying to balance
For sure.
personal projects with things that you actually have to get done.
Oh, for sure.
But let's also talk a little bit about the benefits of showing up. You attend a lot of launches and festivals and panels.
Well, in my first semester in 2019, I went to the Brisbane Writers Festival and I went to the session Growing Up Queer in Australia with Benjamin Law, and that kind of just changed my world. It was so awesome to hear everyone who had a similar story to me. I feel like as queer people we all neglect our stories and we don't want to tell them because it's all a bit traumatic, but it also bonds us as people and makes us realize we are connected and we are all can depend on each other. I don't know if you agree, but life's so heteronormative growing up in that way. You're kind of desperate to hear these voices, and you kind of get impatient for heteronormative voices the older you get. You kind of want to just hear a queer voice because it's been repressed for so long, and you see so much of yourself in there. That's what I really look for as well.
Yeah, it's kind of more about making space for other voices, I guess.
Exactly, yeah.
Alrighty, well, I think let's close it up there for today. Thanks so much for joining me and talking about your role with Scratch That and the Lit Salon and all your writing endeavours.
Thanks for having me, Tom.
Thanks, Jakeb.